Well, welcome to Facebook Friday. It sort of echoes in here. So we have a special Facebook Friday today, and this is dedicated to Dr. Gordon, who is gone.
Dr. Gordon.
And we're all jealous because he's been to France and Italy and gorgeous, gorgeous places. So anyway, we have Miss Sarah here. She is our embryologist, senior embryologist, right? And I know you've met her before, but I was curious as to what the place is like where the embryos are stored, and patients seem to be very fascinated with that. And so we thought we'd do a Facebook Friday about the technology for the embryo freezing.
Sure.
So I'm going to give you Miss Sarah, and I'm going to switch places with Miss Sarah. Because you have a new member of your team
I
that
do.
I'm going to let you introduce.
Got a new member. We've got our andrologist Anna here.
Hello.
So we are very happy she joined us. I'm very excited. Julia and I both really needed some help in here. So welcome to Anna.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Yeah. She's like, whoa. It's pretty close, Mark. Woo. Okay.
Sorry.
All right, guys. So we're just going to give you a little walk through. This is our tank room. We've got a lot of tanks up in here where we store our embryos, eggs, and sperm. We're going to give you a little look here. We're not going to pull out any embryos and endanger them. We're giving you some examples of what it looks like. So we store liquid nitrogen in these tanks. This is what holds the eggs, embryos, and sperm frozen. It's at negative 323-ish degrees Fahrenheit, which is negative 196 degrees Celsius. They're all alarmed, so they will call our cell phones if there's a problem, which there never will be. So, when you look into this tank, you open it up here, you got some vapor. That's from the liquid nitrogen. I'm going to pull up one of these canisters. So, this is normally what our canes of our specimens would be in. And it would be one of these, which is one I put in here just to show you guys. This is a new tank.
So the embryos are on the thing you just pulled out.
We'll do a closer up over here.
Okay.
But this is a new tank, which is why it's not full yet. We're growing, and so we needed a couple new tanks to bring in embryos for the NEDC and also for southeastern patients freezing their own. So if we come on over here, we've got a little vat of liquid nitrogen, and I can show you what it would look like to bring an embryo off of this. So this is what we call our cane. And then down in the bottom we have a goblet that's holding the device that our embryos are frozen on. I've got some fake information on here, so don't worry, I'm not doing any HIPAA violations, it's my own information. So we've got what's called a Vitrigard, which you can use any type of device. And when we're thawing or freezing an embryo, you always have to keep the device tip where the embryo is stored under liquid nitrogen until you want it to thaw. So what we would come in here and do is we'd come in with some forceps. You can watch it bubble against me. So this, if I, stuck my hand in this or something, it's instant frostbite. It could be very dangerous because it's so cold. So you uncap it underneath the liquid nitrogen, take the cap off. And at this point, I would take out the device and I would plunge it straight into a dish that had media in it. So
this is the device, right?
This is the device the embryos are on. So I'm going to pull it out. Nothing's on it. Reminder.
Right.
So there we go. So you would pull it out, and we would have used what's called a stripper with a stripper tip on it to pipette the embryos onto the tip of this device. And then when we go to thaw them, we would take it out, just like I showed you, and plunge it right into some media and get the embryos to come off and then take them through a series of drops to thaw them out. And kind of vice versa, when we freeze it, we would take it down, we'd pipette it on there underneath the microscope, and then take it like that and just boom, put it straight into the liquid nitrogen. You missed the boom, Mark.
I did.
Well,
You could
would you like to
do it again.
Okay,
Sorry.
So we're going boom, like that.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah, and then we cap it back, and we would put it in there. So that's our freezing and our thawing, pretty much. And you see the metal bubble against this forceps that I just put in there because it's very cold. It's kind of hard to cap these underneath liquid nitrogen because you can't take them out. And then you take it and you slide it down into there. And then we would snap it in and we'd move it over to our big storage tank and we'd store it in there.
Wow.
And they can be stored indefinitely.
Do they ever fall out?
They do not, because they are in these, so they go into this, then we have something that snaps on top of it. Julia's about to go grab me one. We have another device that'll snap on top of that, and then we slide them into giant sheaths, and then they're blocked in by these labeling tops here, so that this would normally have a patient name on the top of it. And then, so we snap it in like this up top. And then, do you want to pull one of the sheaths out of there?
Yes.
Julie's going to pull the sheath for us. And then it slides into this right here. It's cold.
Wow. Yeah.
That holds it all together.
So see, everybody should feel very secure about your embryos when you're a Southeastern or NEDC patient, right? I mean, you've just shown us the process, really, of how they are stored and then how they are thawed for the transfer, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's amazing.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen the whole process, so that's...
Yeah, it's
Well,
great.
we decided to do this. And then, also, it seems so familiar in here, because it used to be my office. Believe it or not,
We overtook it.
with 3 nurses, a countertop out to here, and shelving and files. So it was very small.
Very
but
small.
anyway, so Miss Anna, please tell us more about you, since you're our new employee.
Yeah, so I went to Tennessee Tech University. I got my degree in health science biology. I've worked in labs and clinics, so when I saw this job, I was like, that's perfect. And I came and interviewed, and I decided it was perfect.
So tell us a little bit about what you do for Southeastern.
I am currently doing semen analysis and IUI and IVF prep, so anything that has to do with sperm.
And so will you be learning embryology also?
Maybe eventually. Yeah, maybe eventually.
Awesome. Well, welcome. We're
Thank
so
you.
glad to have
And,
you.
and the big question that I always like to ask when we're in this room, Linda's former office, how many embryos are currently, like in these tanks, how many embryos would you guesstimate or estimate or know there are?
Thousands.
Like how many thousand?
Well, Mark.
I mean,
Look that up
approximately.
if you ask me
No, you
before
don't know.
we
You
go.
no, that's okay.
Put her on the spot.
Put me on the spot,
But
Mark.
thousands.
Thousands. Yes, there's definitely thousands. We can hold a lot of embryos in here.
So about how many embryos will fit in the straws in one tank?
Well, if you look at them, we've got, there are 6 canisters in each tank. And each canister holds this amount of patients. Each cane can hold, depending on how many is per device, each cane can hold 8 patients. So if you do the math, it's quite a bit.
8 embryos.
8 embryos, yes, sorry. 8 embryos. So it
Well,
can hold quite a lot.
patients.
So it can hold quite a bit. We also got new incubators last month that we're very excited
we
about.
see them?
Sure. We've got quite a bit of new stuff in here actually.
Yay.
We've got a new hood, which is very exciting.
And what's the importance of the hood?
The hood is so that we can handle the embryos under this microscope, kind of sterilely.
Yeah, in a sterile fashion,
yeah.
sure.
And so we've got our own workspace. It's got a filter running at all times to keep everything in it clean.
Okay.
So we have one in the inner lab, but it just was not enough space. We're big enough now that we needed to be able to, 2 people needed to work at the same time. Poor Dr. Gordon's wallet has been pressured here because we also have a new refrigerator and freezer that stores all of our media.
Media?
Yep, these are our culture medias and our freezing medias and our thawing medias.
No
And
Mountain Dews?
No food or drink allowed in the lab. These are the old incubators. So we kept 2 of our old incubators as a backup. We turned one into a warming box, and one we're just going to keep as a backup, just to have to our new incubators. So our new incubators.
Oh my goodness, that looks like...
Yes.
These are the new
So
incubators?
are
Wow,
really
they
great.
are really different.
Yes, they
And what's
are.
the difference between these and the old ones?
Well, we can. Is there still a page in here? No. Okay. Making sure that Julia was running some tests on them before we go into cycle, but these are 1 compartment per patient. So we can open and close a compartment. There will be culture dishes inside here. That way, when we open just this patient, we only affecting the gas in just this patient. The rest of the patients in the incubator are safe. Whereas in a big box incubator, when you open the door, every patient that is in that incubator is affected by the door being
Every embryo.
yeah, every
Or every
embryos.
gametes, yeah,
Yes,
right.
yes. So whatever's in there, you experience the gas change when you open the door. So these ones are the new age technology to keep our patients' embryos and eggs even safer than what we used to have. So we're very, very excited. Last month was our first month to use them, and we have it's alarm. We have alarms coming through everything. Anything goes wrong, it lets us know. We have our temperatures. We've got a laptop to run just them. We also got the new laser. I think we did.
Where's that?
Facebook Friday on that before? I can't remember.
We may have talked about it. I don't know if we.
So the laser's just down here, Mark. This Lycos right there.
Yeah.
It's just an objective that goes onto our ICSI microscopes. This is our microscope that we do ICSI with. It's like a giant arcade. Joysticks and stuff all over the place. And then we've got a fancy schmancy laser that can help us hatch out the embryos, especially ones that have been frozen, so FETs and any NADC patient. We can go in with a laser and blast away part of the shell that helps the embryo hatch out. And that's an all-inclusive price, so it's not something we're charging patients extra for. It's just something that if we determine that the embryo would benefit from it and the patient's pregnancy would benefit from it, we can do it there. We're not charging anyone anything extra for it. But it's really cool technology, and it's got a foot pedal. This little foot pedal down here, pull it out. That's what we use to shoot the laser, just like. Yeah.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, it just shoots.
Wow.
Laser.
We'll have to.
No, I'm just kidding.
And this is our other old hood. Yeah.
Yeah, there's the other hood.
Yeah. So that's our original hood that still works great. And then this is our window that goes through to the OR.
For those of you who've been through IVF
drive-through
or
window.
transfer, this is the other side of the drive-through window.
Yeah. So then this is the OR for them.
Yeah, there we
There we
go.
go.
Now we see it.
Yeah, and there's the procedure room.
Retrieval room.
Here you go. This is a great tour.
Yeah, so this is the first time I think that we've had a camera back here that we showed the other direction.
I think so. I think it's the first time we've been in the inner lab.
Yeah, this is wonderful. So, Miss Sarah, on these, do you just have one patient's embryos or whatever in each little separate container? Or
Yes, so that will
so
be.
there's 18 total that you can use.
So, and you can do it, so there is a divider on the inside here, so if we had all 18 spaces full and we didn't want to move to our backup big one, we can divide each one into, but as of right now, I guess you would have 18 patients at one
Well,
time.
that must be sensitive because I saw this change when you open that up and it
Yep.
was flashing.
It
Yep.
turns the air off, so the air isn't constantly pumping through. It's trying to hold it as is, so you're not wasting a bunch of air either. And then when you shut it, it kicks all back on right away.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was going to see if we could get this to start out for you here. We also had to have, where did we keep?
It looks like it's. What is this?
That's where the laser is.
Oh, okay. So we might see the laser. You're saying?
Yeah, I was trying to see if I could find. Maybe Julie could show them about those gases coming in while I try and find this thing to shoot here.
So our gases come in from up top. There's a tank room on the other side. We also have a alarm kind of system set up on that. A big red light comes on, we go to our backups. We always have backups set up. When it switches to the backups, we immediately order more gas in. That gas will come in and they'll hook that up, and that is now the new backup while the other ones, what was a backup, was running. And so we'll always have a full set backup on hand. And it comes down, comes into our incubators. It's got different pressures that it's kind of worked its way down to. It starts a bit higher out in the tank room and is worked down to the proper pressure that we need for these incubators here. They are very, very neat in that the way they operate is trying to be the most efficient for not only patients' development with their embryos, but keeping those gases at a really good level without drawing too much of our gas that it's just expending a lot of it. So kind of a resource protection along with our patient protection. So that's really excellent to have kind of a 2-for-1 deal there.
And the point of the gases is to keep them in a pressurized, the embryos or whatever, in a pressurized.
Not necessarily pressurized state. So you're keeping them in a gaseous state that's a good minute closer to the female body.
Okay.
So that's what we're going for.
Okay.
As time's gone on, they've tried to figure out kind of what the difference is in oxygen, and we operate in a low oxygen. We're at 5.8 for our oxygen, and then we're using nitrogen to off-balance that, and then to get our oxygen levels lower, and our nitrogen, or not nitrogen, I apologize, our carbon dioxide is kept at 7 point, hold on, I'll come through here. I optimized it recently, so
7.1. Yep.
is optimized for our culture media that our lab uses. There's multiple options that we have out there, and what you're doing is you're aiming for a certain pH of your, so a certain acidity level of your medias, and so I ran these tests this week where we put media in that is our newest lot. We locked it in for at least 14 hours. It can be a little bit longer as well, and then we check it to make sure it's coming up correctly at the most optimal level that the company has told us will operate for us.
Now we have a question from Alicia, who is asking, do the embryos also go to those when they are thawed for an FET?
Yes, they do. So anything that's being cultured for any length of time, so your FET, if it's a blastocyst, is thawed that morning, but it will sit in here for a few hours to allow it to kind of re-expand and hang out in the culture media prior to your transfer. The time of your transfer, it's moved into a transfer media, and then it's transferred to your body. So yes, they are also kept in here.
Interesting. Well, this is terrific, and I see that you ladies are up to something over here.
Sir, we're trying to do a show here. So what I'm
Okay,
trying to show
this is
you
going to be the big finale, the laser.
Yes, the big finale.
Well, I'm trying to show how the laser works. We'll see if this works. I can't
Yeah.
find.
If it doesn't, that's okay.
I can't find the box. We stored away the laser box that it came in.
Now, should I keep the camera on the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. You're good.
So.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to do here is I've drawn on it with some dry erase marker for the purpose of
You've drawn on what for some dry?
a microscope slide.
Okay, gotcha.
So I just want to kind of see if this will work to show you guys here. All right, so now I gotta go up to the laser objective, which means I'm going up in magnification here by spinning that. Get it in focus here. All right. It looks kind of weird because it's a dry erase marker on here. So I'm going to shoot the laser and see if it'll work on this. I don't know if it's going to work or not on our sample here. Nope. Let me see if Julia. I'm going to bring it down, bring it back up, see if our
Maybe you need
sample work here.
Okay.
So it's pretty cool though. We can darken it too. Yeah. Yeah, darken this writing on it maybe. Let's see if it'll work for us. No, I don't think it's gonna screen. Let's see if it's gonna work here. Well, we're trying to show you a sample, Mark.
And at least they know we didn't stage this.
Yeah.
You know. So you're gonna try one more time, or is that it?
I'm gonna try one more time here and see if
Okay.
it'll work. Now I've got to bring it up and up. See that red dot pop up? So that's where I know I'm firing. But no.
Okay, it doesn't. It's not doing.
The example won't work.
Now, what will it do on the screen when you fire?
So basically, what I was trying to make it do is show you how it blasts away a circle right there of it, and it is not behaving itself because I can't find the actual example of the box. So I was looking for the box that had it in there. So what I did was just color dry erase on
I found it, but I need a tall person.
Oh,
Oh, no.
It's behind the dorsal veins.
okay.
Well, there you go.
Well,
I'm not climbing up
yeah.
from a chair. None of us are tall people.
Anyways,
So we're not gonna do it.
meh.
Yeah, forget
You
it.
get
But-
the picture.
yeah, we do get the
Anyways,
picture.
So what we would do is see that. Can you see it in the screen that it's red dot? So
Yeah.
that red dot is where the laser would shoot, and then the circle around it is where the blast radius is of the laser.
And you
So-
can actually see that happen.
Yeah. Yep. I
Wow.
can see it. I could see it. Either I can look on the screen or I can look there. So basically, what I would do is pretending this was an edge of an embryo.
Mm-hmm.
I would go up along the zona, which is the shell of an embryo, and I would blast right along it. Let's see if it behaves.
We're gonna try one more potential example.
Yeah.
I'm the squirrel that squirrel things away.
Yeah.
It's me. I'm the acorn culprit.
I always wondered who it was.
You're the problem. It's you.
It's me. Hi.
Whoa, Julia!
I'm definitely the problem today.
All right, let's go up to our objective. Let's see if this one works. There you go.
Oh, I see it. It punctured a hole in it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm just shooting it with my foot, and you can hear it kind of making those noises. I'm in this really dark area, but trying to find a not as dark area. Whoa, there's lots of dark areas.
Okay.
So basically,
This is how you do the
Yeah.
assisted hatching.
Yep. And so you just go right along the edge. Now, of course, this is not what it looks like when there's an actual embryo. We're just
Right.
kind of blasting some dry erase marker. And
But-
so it's not quite as bleh.
But you get the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we
Great.
can use that to help embryos out of their zonas, their shells, after they've been frozen. Sometimes shells can harden, so we can do that. And then we can also, when we freeze embryos, we can zap the blastocyst once, and it will collapse it down, and it helps them survive the thaw better, freezing the thaw better.
Wow. Well, this
Very
is,
fascinating.
it's been great.
It has been. So we appreciate you guys for joining us for Facebook Friday, and Sarah and Anna and Julia. We appreciate you guys for helping us out.
No problem.
Have a happy weekend, and we'll see Dr. Gordon next week.
Come back, Dr. Gordon.